Widescreen with logo and text. University of Guam Cedars presents. Jigsaw puzzle collage of photos. Faces of Autism, the Blas family. Blas family sitting at a table. Photos of Joseph appear while they speak. Josephine Blas, mother of Joseph Blas.
My son Joseph was born in 2008, and he's my only child, and I was older when I gave birth at 40 years old.
Photos of baby Joseph.
It was a joy that I was going to have Joseph, and when he was born, naturally he seemed like a normal child, if you want to use the word normal.
Josephine holding baby Joseph.
Developing great, but then after like 3 or 4 months, he physically he wasn't developing or meeting his milestones. So the doctor suggested that I have Joseph see a physical therapist.
Baby Joseph sitting on Josephine's lap.
Doing that, and they actually come to the house to do his physical therapy. And after a couple of sessions, she said, can I bring in an occupational therapist? And,
baby Joseph wearing red and white striped
clothing. For me, I don't even know the
clothing.
difference, but I was, okay, anything for my son. And so she came in, and then several months into the therapy, she
Joseph
said,
sitting on a blue toy bike.
There's something different about Joseph. You know, besides being developmentally delayed, there might be something else. So they started doing all kinds of tests.
Joseph dressed in a blue suit.
The word autism came up, but nobody wanted to put their foot down on it or say he was autistic. So they were doing all kinds of tests with Joseph. It's like we were going to the hospital every
Baby Joseph
month.
playing with his feet on a hospital
Today,
bed.
he doesn't even like the hospital. We can't even drive into the parking lot without him being traumatized. But you know, as we went along, before he was about 1.5 years, they sent us to Tripler, Army Medical Center in Hawaii.
Joseph and Grandma at airport baggage claim.
That we saw there, he kept saying, I think he's on the spectrum, but they didn't want to be too quick to make a
Josephine
diagnosis.
carries
So,
Joseph in the hospital.
they did some more tests, and we came home. Then they brought us back, and we saw a different therapist.
Joseph watching a movie on a tablet.
specialist. And that's when they finally said Joseph is autistic.
Josephine and Joseph
He
smiling.
was almost 2 years old when they said, okay, he's autistic. And I didn't even know what to think.
Joseph smiling.
My first reaction was, did I do something wrong while I was pregnant? Have I done anything wrong since he was born? You know, all kinds of things go through your head because I didn't even, know the word autism before I was told that my son was autistic. So naturally, I didn't even know how to react.
Joseph
But when
standing
I
in
came
front of
home,
artwork.
It was like perfect timing. About a month after we got home, the autistic or autism fair, awareness fair, took place at Agana Shopping Center.
Kids dancing
So
at the
I
mall.
said, let me take time and go down there because where else am I going to go?
Josephine
And I
and
went
Joseph
down there and I
smiling.
signed up for the Autism Community Together. And they started sending me emails and inviting me to meetings. And the first one I went to was a Mother's Day luncheon. And I actually brought my mom with me.
Joseph
and,
sitting on his grandmother's
because
lap.
my parents are my support. I'm in the military, so without them, I couldn't do what I do. And so I brought my mom, and I said, why don't you come along because you're with Joseph probably more than I am on a daily basis. So I like them to know what's going on. So
Grandparents
we went
holding
there,
baby
and,
Joseph.
I would say it was it's like lifting a brick off my shoulder because suddenly I realized I didn't do anything wrong. Joseph to me is a perfectly normal child with autism.
Josephine in military
But we
uniform
talked to
holding
other
Joseph.
parents, other moms, and they were talking about their kids, and I said, wow, it sounds like my son. And so the more I interacted with them, just the better I felt about myself. And I knew, okay, there's some place to go or some people I can talk to.
Joseph sitting on
And
the
it just
floor
made
with
the
classmates.
acceptance that much easier. And once I realized and accepted it, I said, okay, we need to move forward because it's all about Joseph. And so today, we try to, all the emphasis is on his development, and then we go from there.
Joseph playing with toy at school.
A lot of people were just, I heard my mom, even my mom said, God's not going to give you what you can't handle. And then just thinking about it's not about me, so I shouldn't be wondering if I did anything wrong or why my focus started being on how can I get Joseph to develop into, if we want to use the word normal.
Flashcards pinned to Joseph's
And
communication
It's
board.
just acceptance and patience. And I think once I accepted it in my own heart, I was able to just move forward and say, Joseph is my son. And
Joseph walking holding a red
whatever
toy car.
happens, and whatever he does, and he's a happy child. And I think if he can be happy and I can support that, and then support him in his development, both mentally and physically, it'll just make us all stronger.
Joseph kneeling on a
We've
pillow.
gotten great support. The support network just grown from my parents to my brothers and
Grandfather giving Joseph a bottle of
to their
water.
kids, to all our family and friends. So I couldn't ask for more, because without them I couldn't do what we're doing right now.
Joseph sitting on the floor holding a red toy car.
When we got home from the hospital,
Patricia
after
Blas,
he was
grandmother.
diagnosed and tripler, I went in the room. I want to be by myself. I wanted to cry. I started crying, and then I said, how am I helping him
Patricia sitting
by
on
being
couch.
like this? And then, you said, my
Joseph
mom has
using
always
sign
said,
language to ask
God
for a
will not
drink.
give you what you can't handle. So it's been
Joseph drinking
an
water.
uplifting to think that I won't say, why me? I ask God, why not me? Why does it have to be somebody else? and
Joseph
not
jumps
me?
on recliner.
So with that, it's more
Patricia Blas,
acceptance.
grandmother.
But it was a shock in the beginning. I'm not going to say, yes, I noticed Joseph. As much as we saw him, we're hoping it's just a delayed and not autistic, but he is. And, that's where we had accepted,
Joseph drinking water.
the way he is, right, or what he was diagnosed. We have to guess everything that we do, and we do our best, and hopefully
Patricia
we're doing
Blas,
the right thing.
grandmother.
And every time, with every accomplishment with Joseph, we rejoice. This is some
Joseph
people
laughing.
that would take it for granted, that they go through the milestone of 6 months, 10 months, and all that stuff. We rejoice when Joseph would have accomplished something. It's a big accomplishment for us, so we all rejoice like, we have a big prize right there.
David
I'm
Blas,
in the back door.
grandfather.
I just take Joseph, I take care of him, I pick him up, take him home.
Joseph sitting on
We
red chair
babysit
laughing.
him and all that stuff. Then we take him back home to see his mom. But Joseph was just wonderful, It's just
David Blas, grandfather.
he's a very happy child, and I just got used to the fact that let's go see Joseph again. And if I don't see Joseph during the day, it's just I tell my wife, says, honey, we gotta go. I gotta see Joseph.
Different.
Joseph laughing while sitting on grandfather's lap.
It's, when he started walking at 4.5 years old, it was just a wonderful thing. And now he's using sign language. When he
Sign
wants to
language
drink
gesture.
water, he goes like this, and we give him some water. And one of his favorite food is French fries. And so we're
Josephine
next
and
door,
Joseph
so
in
we
kitchen.
Start with French fries.
Josephine
That's
holds
it.
French
He
fries in a
used to
tray.
eat,
Rice.
rice and spam and sausage, and all of a sudden he didn't want to eat any of that. He doesn't like anything that's looks musty and stuff like
Mushy,
that.
wet.
He likes dry food, especially like I said, French fries.
Joseph eating French fries.
And, one of his favorite things is taking a bath. He takes his shortest bath is probably 45 minutes.
Joseph taking a
He
bubble
stays in
bath.
there up to 3 hours with the water running. So her water bill, but it's for Joseph. And when I tell Joseph, let's go take a bath, he just walks up the stairs with me. And he gets in the bathtub, goes in there, turn on the light, and he gets in the bathtub. But I drain the water. When I drain the water, he's so funny because he knows that he doesn't want the water to go down, so he goes back there and sits on the drain, so the water doesn't move down.
Joseph standing
But
in a
that's
puddle
his
of
favorite
water.
thing. The thing is, just go with the flow, and just accept your grandson the way he is.
Grandfather
and,
sitting on couch.
Talk to other people because
Joseph sitting on the
like
floor.
A lot of times when we were in the exchange, we see a child that's misbehaving and stuff like that, and the first thing that comes to my mind, maybe that child has autism, and you just have to be patient. And you look around, and the thing is, you look around.
Joseph
there's
laying on the
some-
floor.
There's some people that they look at the child as, oh, what a naughty child. But if they are educated with autism, then they'll know that the child is just something that, you know, that it's not, you could say it's not normal to the child, but they learn to accept
Joseph's
it.
collection of toy
Just
cars.
love him and accept him, and we are enjoying Joseph.
Patricia
Joseph is
Blas.
no different from one that is talking. He's a joy. He is. I guess this is the time that with me I look back and I try to be patient because I'm not a patient person. But I would say have him tested and you know, get all the education you can to learn about autism, because I
Joseph
didn't know
drinking
anything
water.
about it.
But you know, once we realized that he was autistic,
Josephine Blas.
the only way we could really help him to grow and develop was to accept it and learn how to help him and just support him. And you know, these days, everything is like, it's funny. You try to find fun in everything. Every time he does something, and we just
Josephine
laugh
standing to the
because
right.
some of the things he does, it's hilarious because he's trying to get his way. I mean, he's just like any other child. He knows what he wants, and he's trying to get his way, and he's going to try everything.
Wall decoration.
You know,
Love
he's gonna
much.
try to
Laugh
use,
awful. Live well.
Oh, I know how to get past my mother. I think he knows how to get past my dad all the time. Oh, if my mom won't give it to you, I'm going to go to Papa.
I let him get away with everything he wants to get away with, as long as it's not in danger.
Grandfather kisses
This
Joseph.
whole experience has actually made me a very patient person. Like my mother, I wasn't very patient. But Joseph, I always tell people he's made me patient, he's made me understanding. You know, I just go with the flow. He's just made me a better person. And I just love that little kid. And so every little thing that he does, every little milestone, you know, other kids, it's no big deal. But like my dad said, Joseph didn't walk until he was 4.5. And even his little cousins were like, oh my God, Joseph is
Joseph
walking.
wearing a
Baby Joe's
black,
what they call
orange,
him. Baby
and
Joe's
yellow
walking.
striped
And
shirt.
He just recently started drinking out of a water bottle. And that's huge for us because before he would only drink out of his bottle. In fact, now he still drinks out of his bottle, but now he's moving towards a water bottle. If we're at a restaurant now, he'll drink out of a cup. That's huge, you know. Other kids, maybe they do that when they're a year old, you know, but for Joseph, who just started doing it at 6, it's huge.
Joseph
So
holding a blue
we
butterfly
rejoice.
toy.
It's another step forward, and, you know, so we just reinforce it. Like my dad said, they're teaching him sign language in school, and his favorite one now is water or
Sign
food,
language
right, if
gesture.
he's hungry, and more. So we just know
Joseph
once you
showing
get
a funny
couple
face.
down, then the floodgates are going to open.
I hope that he can take care of himself. Like, I guess some places they have homes where he can help himself, where everything is safe, and help himself and just be the adult that everybody grows up
Wants
to
to
be,
be, right.
or grows up to be, and to satisfy himself that he's not depending on anybody else, more to be independent.
Right, independent living, yeah, to do
Yeah.
what you know, everybody has a dream about what they want to do when they grow up, and I hope he has that and is able to achieve it.
Mm.
And, you know, I'm just hoping I can do whatever he needs to get him where he wants to be, where he needs to be.
Joseph sitting on a ride at Chuck E. Cheese.
I get to live a long life, so I can watch Joseph grow and be independent one of these days.
Joseph wearing a Batman
Hopefully,
shirt.
Our story, but anybody else's story gets out, and the awareness about autism grows. So there's more, you know, more support, more resources out there for the other children.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I'm just thankful, like I said earlier, about the autism community, because having that support network of other parents.
Photo
and
of Josephine
grandparents,
and Joseph.
it's just, it helps more than you can, you know, than I can even express.
Credits. Special thanks to the Blas family. Josephine and Joseph Blas. David Blas and Patricia Blas. Special thanks to the Guam Cedars Advisory Council Erlinda Tidinko, Chairperson, Gian Magana, Vice Chairperson, Rosanne Dia, Maria Bontagon, Elaine Faculogo Gui, Yolanda Gabriel, Bernie Graycheck, Josephine Guerrero, Harold Parker, Leon Rohr, Marceline Santos, Ben Servino, Linda Rodriguez, Camera, Sean Izama, Sherry Guerrero, Script Consultant, Dane Rohr, Editor, James Davis, Sean Izama, Sherry Guerrero, Motion Graphics, Sherry Guerrero, Production Crew, Terry Fiherang, Sean Lizama, Sherry Guerrero, transcription, Margaret Johnson, Janika Balasta, Director Producer, Terry Fiherang, Executive Producer, Heidi San Nicolas, Ph.D. Guam Cedars Director. Guam Cedars logo. Copyright 2015. This film was produced with 100% funding support from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Administration on Intellectual and Developmental Disabilities, Grant number 90DD0014-01-02, and facilitated by the University of Guam Center for Excellence in Developmental Disabilities Education, Research, and Service. Guam Cedars. The University of Guam is an equal opportunity provider and employer.